Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the World of Juice channel. Happy Halloween to everybody out there that celebrates, obviously, this video going up October 31st, 2025. So I had to get in the spirit of Halloween, even though I'm not a big Halloween guy, surprisingly enough. I like the candy, but I was never really growing up. I was never a big Halloween guy. I don't really like the gore, scary movie aspect of Halloween, like the Jason or the Freddy Krueger or the Michael Myers. I was never really a big fan of those stuff. Scream, another thing. It's just not my bag. I don't mind if you guys like it or if anybody likes it out there. Obviously, there's a market for it, but it's just not my bag. So I was never really a Halloween type of guy, but I do like costumes. I like dressing up in costumes, and here we are. I got my friend with me. If you can see him, this is Arnold. If you want to say hi, Arnold, he's got a hand right here. Hi. Arnold's going to be rebuilding the Minnesota Vikings with me because we know that the Minnesota Vikings over the past few years have been kind of in a free fall. They've had a bunch of circulating quarterbacks since Kirk Cousins, and they haven't really been able to figure out what they need to do. Their defense is fine, but this year it's not great. Their offense is great. You got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison on your team. How could you be bad at receiver? You can't be. You just got to figure out the quarterback position. And I personally am not a fan of JJ McCarthy, not just because he was a cheater at Michigan, but because I don't think he's that good of a quarterback in the first place. So I'm here to stop the bleeding. Funny enough, on Halloween, I'm here to stop the bleeding of the Minnesota Vikings, fix them, save them, and make sure that we can give Minneapolis a championship because they deserve one, right? Their fans have been through a lot. You've seen a lot of missed extra points, a lot of missed field goals. Some crazy things have happened in your history, and also some crazy good things have happened in your history, like the Minneapolis Miracle. Now, we can argue if that was fair or not. We don't want to get into that, but you've also had some good moments, but obviously none of it has been as good as like a Patriots fan, obviously, or a Steelers fan, or a Packer fan, or heck, even a Cowboy fan, even though it hasn't been 30 years. You don't have a Super Bowl. So I'm here to fix the Minnesota Vikings. I'm here to save the team. Me and Arnold are going to get the job done. So if you're going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe channel, join the Juice Club, and remember, be safe if you are of the age to go trick-or-treating. Be safe out there and have some fun as well. Get some good candy, and come back here and enjoy the video and eat your candy while you watch. So here we are. This is the Minnesota Viking roster, and I think the biggest move that I'm going to do for this rebuild is to get rid of JJ McCarthy. Now, I know you might be saying, Juice, JJ McCarthy is their future quarterback, their franchise quarterback. Well, to be fair, he hasn't played very much, if at all. He played nothing in last year, his actual rookie season, because he got hurt, tore his ACL or something like that. And then this year, he played like the first week or something, then got hurt again. So he hasn't been very consistent, you should say, as a healthy player. And even when he gets on the field, who knows if he's going to be any good at all? I personally don't think he's that good, but that also could be a little bit of bias towards hating Michigan, which I hate with the burning passion of 1,000 suns, wish their whole campus would fall into the pit of the earth. But that's just me. That's just me. So I'm going to move on from JJ McCarthy, even though he never really got a shot. Even if he gets a shot, he might not do anything. Now, in the game of Madden, I have seen him develop into a very, very good quarterback. I've seen him win MVPs. I've seen him win Super Bowls. I've seen a lot of stuff in the game of Madden 26. But this is my rebuild. This is my Vikings team. We're not quarterbacked by JJ McCarthy. So we are going to move on from him. Justin Jefferson, there are a lot of rumors going around right now how the most recent game that they played as of recording this video was the Thursday night game against the LA Chargers. And after that game, Justin Jefferson was like in the locker room screaming, demanding, being angry, all that kind of stuff. And some people were thinking he was demanding a trade. I don't think Justin Jefferson would ever get traded, but I didn't think Micah Parsons ever get traded, and he did. So anything can happen in the NFL. So if Justin Jefferson were to get traded, would I like for him to become a Patriot? Yeah, of course I'd love him to become a Patriot. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he ever gets traded. But It'd be crazy if he did. We're not going to trade him in this. We're going to keep him in this video, and along with Jordan Addison. Now, the running back position's another weird one because we have Aaron Jones, we have Jordan Mason. They don't really have a running back. Ever since Dalvin Cook kind of just disintegrated into nothing, we haven't really gotten a running back to replace him. Aaron Jones is fine, but he's not what he used to be on the Green Bay Packers in his prime. So that's a whole nother story to figure out. We've got a great offensive line, to be fair. I mean, you've got rookie Donovan Jackson, who's very flexible, can play offensive tackle, can play offensive guard. Christian Darrisaw is one of the best left tackles in the league. Got Brian O'Neill, one of the best right tackles in the league. Ryan Kelly's a great center. So we don't really have to do anything on the offensive line, which is really good for me. At tight end, we've got Oliver and Hawkinson. Great tight end combination. We don't have to worry about that. Really, where we're going to have to upgrade is, other than quarterback and running back, is this defense. This defense is very weird. They've got some good players. Like Jonathan Grenard has turned himself into a wonderful edge rusher. He's great. Jonathan Allen's good, but he's a little bit older, maybe past his prime a little bit. You've got Byron Murphy, who's turned himself into a good corner. Harrison Smith on his last legs. Van Ginkel's a fine outside edge rusher, but he's nothing like franchise worthy. And then after that, Metellus, whatever his name is, he's cool, but he's nothing special either. You don't really have a whole lot to work with other than Jonathan Grenard and Byron Murphy. And I hate that Jeff Okudah's become a bust because at Ohio State, Jeff Okudah was locked down. He was so good. But he had some injury history. He had just some bad play, and that's never a good combination. So there are some things we have to do. Oh, I didn't even mention, we've got young St. Louis Blue legend Dallas Turner, if you know, you know. Dallas Turner, we hopefully will be able to develop him. Maybe he takes the spot of Van Ginkel in the future. Who knows? Maybe we move him inside to Mike or Will linebacker and he can do something there. But this team on defense definitely needs a lot of work. Offense, pretty good, except for quarterback, running back. We're going to have to figure out what we want to do there. Arnold, do you have any ideas on what you want to do? No? Okay. I'll run the ship. I will control the rebuild. Arnold has given me his blessing, so let's do this. Trading JJ McCarthy is going to be the biggest thing to do. So is there anybody even interested in JJ McCarthy? I doubt it. No trade packages for good old JJ. That's interesting. I'm not sure what I want to do with JJ McCarthy. Let me think about it. Let me go over some of the quarterbacks that are attainable for us around that same kind of level, and we'll see if I can figure something out. Okay, so I've gone over some options. I've done some digging. I've done some investigation into what quarterback I think would be the best option for this Vikings team. And it may seem like a weird one, but me and Arnold have talked it out. We've discussed it, and we think this is the right move. It's kind of down to two quarterbacks. So let's get into the trade screen and show you what I'm talking about. So basically, we're going to move JJ McCarthy, and I'm thinking one of two quarterbacks. One being Spencer Rattler. And I know that sounds a little weird, but I think it could work out and it could be pretty fun. And doing a rebuild with Spencer Rattler at quarterback could be pretty fun. The other one was Jalen Milroe. Alabama quarterback, rookie this year, normal dev. I think one of the two could be a pretty fun option to have at quarterback. And I've never seen anybody do a rebuild with Jalen Milroe before, so maybe he could be the guy. And I have a plan that I think should work to get him a pretty high overall fairly quickly. So I think I want to do Jalen Milroe. I think that could be a fun option. Now, this is going to probably go through right away, so I bet there's a way I can get maybe a second round pick or something for maybe even a third. Okay, no, that didn't go through. Are they really not going to take... Wow, is this not going to go through right away? Okay, I did. It wouldn't go through for a draft pick. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. We don't need a draft pick. But now we have our new starting quarterback being Jalen Milroe. I need to release Carson Wentz so he doesn't start over. So let's just release Carson Wentz. There we go. Perfect. So now Jalen Milroe will be the starter. We have Max Brosmer as our backup. We should probably sign another backup that's a low overall. So let's go to quarterback. Lowest overall guys. Who's here that could be fun just to have as on the team for some reason? Let's see. I mean, any of these guys are fun names to have. Let's do former Heisman contender Max Duggan. Anybody remember that Heisman potential season? A lot of people think that Max Duggan should have won that Heisman trophy that year. I think that was what the year TCU got killed by Georgia in the national championship game. Was that season? I think that might have been that was like 2021 or something like that. People think that he had a good shot at winning it, but clearly he did not. So Jalen Milroe will be the starter, and my game plan for changing him and growing him quickly is going to put him in the Bengal playbook. Now, it's not going to be good for us as a team necessarily. It's going to get him really, really good quarterback stats to raise his overall very, very quickly, possibly go up to superstar dev, maybe X Factor. That'd be sick very, very quickly. Now, Bengal playbook is kind of like the new Kansas City playbook for simulating, at least for quarterbacks. At least it doesn't really help in terms of team stats, not necessarily. At least what I've come to find. So let's go to wherever I need to go to, not the weekly strategy. I always forget where to go to change the schemes. It's in the managed team. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. So let's go to Cincinnati playbook. I probably could have went the other way. It would have been faster. It absolutely would have been faster because I've gone the entire distance and not found it yet. There we go. So Cincinnati's offense, only for a couple of seasons, just to get Jalen Milroe up to speed as a viable starting quarterback, and then we can move into a playbook that's actually going to win games. Probably like Buffalo or Atlanta or something like that. That's going to get us a bunch of wins. So we're going to simulate the first season. I probably won't make any other moves. I will keep Aaron Jones for this season. The Bengal playbook doesn't really run the football that much in Sims, so he's not going to factor at all. And really, no running back, if we're staying in the Bengal playbook, is going to matter. So until we move to a different playbook like Dallas or Buffalo or something like that, that actually features the running back a little bit, we won't have to get a different running back. So Aaron Jones can be the running back for now. But I just want to see how Jalen Milroe does. I think he could be a very good quarterback in this Bengal playbook. So I'm going to simulate season number 1. We're going to find out how he does, and we're going to see maybe if we can make the playoffs with this team. I mean, I would assume this team could make the playoffs in year number 1, but you never know now that we have a lower overall quarterback. So let's find out. Season 1 in the books. We don't make the playoffs, go 8-9, but you got to remember this season and probably next season as well we're only using it to build Jalen Milroe. That is the only goal we have. So if we happen to win games, that's awesome. But Jalen Milroe is our sole priority. And look at this. Jalen Milroe has gone from a 65 when we first traded for him to now an 82, all because of the Bengal playbook. So, yeah, if you ever want to develop a quarterback, just go to Bengal playbook in Sim, and he will develop, because that's kind of insane, kind of absurd. He led the league in passing yards, 4,700 yards. So that's kind of why I wanted to get a guy like Jalen Milroe, because I knew I could get him to a high overall pretty quickly. He did have a rough season, but you got to remember a lot of that was while he was a low overall. So now that he's going to be starting season 2 as a higher overall, he should have a pretty solid season. Addison and Jefferson definitely ate pretty well with Jalen Milroe at quarterback. Defensively, ooh, this is a lot of 100-plus tackle seasons. Oh, my God. I've never seen this many 100-plus tackle seasons. Plus, you got two guys that are 150, 161. Viking playbook might go crazy for tackles. Van Ginkel has 17 tackles for loss. Jonathan Grenard puts up a defensive player of the year type of season. 100 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, and 19 and a half sacks. I mean, what are we talking about here? That's got to be at least X factor, I would hope. Interception numbers, we even put up a few interceptions. Not everybody's getting crazy interceptions, but a few of them are getting interceptions, so pretty sick. I doubt that we win any awards, except for maybe Defensive Player of the Week. You never know about that. Or Defensive Player of the Year, not Defensive Player of the Week. I doubt that Jalen Milroe wins MVP, even though he led the league in passing yards. Usually you have to lead the league in both that and touchdowns to get anything MVP-wise. And the Bills and the Eagles will probably, you know what? I might switch to Eagle offense, since we have a quarterback like Jalen Milroe who's a little bit more athletic. He might fit better in an Eagle playbook than a Buffalo Bill playbook. I don't know. It's tough to say. I do see that Harrison Smith says he's retiring, which we kind of knew going into the season, that he was only going to have a year, maybe 2, but we know that it's now only 1. But that's not my main priority. My main priority is to find out if he's got star dev. No! Jalen Milroe does not take the jump from normal dev to star dev, even with the great season that he had. Okay. We'll give him another season in the Bengal playbook, and then once we get through season 2, then we'll actually try to start winning games. We'll switch to a good playbook, like Philadelphia or Buffalo. And we do see Van Ginkel go up to X Factor along with Jonathan Grenard. I kind of knew that Grenard was going to go up to X Factor with the crazy season that he had, but Van Ginkel is pretty sick. I mean, he did have 100 plus tackles. He was worthy of going up to X Factor. I just didn't expect it. Cashman and Wilson both go up to star. I think they were both normal, weren't they? So we need to add maybe another corner to this roster. Obviously, need to replace Harrison Smith at safety. We do have Dallas Turner. How do I fit everybody into this roster? Probably by switching out of a 3-4 into a 4-3. That's probably how I do it. That way we get a Sam linebacker as well. We'll figure it all out once we get past the offseason. So we got season recap. What did we do? Mahomes wins MVP. Terrell Bernard is the Super Bowl MVP for the Bills. Puka Nacua, Jared Verse. So unfortunately, Bernard doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year. Jared Verse does. And Travis Hunter and Michael Williams are the Players of the Year. Now there is... I kind of want to trade for Oladejo or Oladeji, whatever, however you say it, from the Titans. Because every time I do a sim, Oladejo goes crazy. What is he at already? He's probably already pretty high overall. He's only 79. Olufemi Oladejo. I want to try to get you. But I might not have the cap room to do it, unfortunately. I don't know how I'm going to do this. He's an edge rusher. I have Jonathan Grenard. I think him and Grenard and him would be pretty good together. I'd probably have to give up Andrew Van Ginkel with the cap space, but that wouldn't even work, would it? Yeah, that. So I think I'm going to have to... Who's our negotiations? Jordan Addison, we can accept the option of. That's pretty clutch. Ivan Pace, Rondell Moore, Jalen Naylor. There's not that many guys here. That's pretty lucky. I might want to sign Eric Wilson, but he's 31 at the end of the day, so maybe not. Let me still restructure some contracts here. I didn't think I was going to have to restructure contracts in the first season, but that seems to be where we are. So let's restructure some contracts. So Justin Jefferson can't restructure. That probably is enough to get everybody, but let's restructure Christian Darrisaw. And for the lulz, we'll restructure TJ Hawkinson as well. Why not? So we should be able to get back everybody that we want and trade for Oladejo now. Ivan Pace. I probably should bring back Ivan Pace, shouldn't I? Yeah, I probably should. He's going to cost pretty much all of our budget. But I think I need him back. So we do have Blake Cashman. But Cashman's old and we could probably trade him, honestly. Let me offer Ivan Pace a contract. He's going to return to the team. Thank you. That leaves with $14 million. We don't need Jalen Naylor, I don't think. We can always find other wide receivers, especially cheaper ones. Jeff Okudah is not that expensive. I might just go and offer him a contract. Yeah, why not? Why not offer Okudah a contract? He's not going to be that expensive. Plus, he's our third highest overall corner right now, so we don't really have any options. So Okudah's going to come back. That leaves with $8.6 million. We can probably toss Naylor and Rondell Moore in a trade for a younger wide receiver and get somebody that's on a rookie contract. Because we don't need wide receiver. We have Addison, we have Jefferson, and we have TJ Hawkinson, so we don't need more wide receivers. So if we toss these two guys into a deal, we could probably grab a receiver on a rookie contract. Who's a receiver on a rookie contract that would not be super expensive? Luther Burden might not be a bad idea. Okay, never mind. They want to keep Luther Burden. I respect it. I respect it. Who else could I grab? Emeka Ibuka? No. Okay, that's... No, I just wanted to test it. Sometimes you just gotta toss things out there and see what happens. Maybe it works, and then you didn't expect it to work. Josh Downs, unfortunately, is coming up to the end of his rookie deal. He'd be pretty sick, though. Who else do I want here? Ricky Pearsall could be fun. I mean, we don't need anybody that crazy. Parker Washington, but he's on the last year of his deal as well. Darn it. The Jets did offer me Arian Smith. He was like in the trade screen, so I might just go back and accept that trade offer. That might just be what I do. Or if we want to go full speed, we just go JMO. But JMO's $8 million on the cap hit. That's a little bit expensive. Maybe Isaac Tesla? Is that how you say it? Tesla? I don't know how to say his name. Good, because I'm not going to get him anyway, so. We could go Kayshon Boutte, but he's on the last year of his deal. Kyle Williams might not be. You know what? Let me try to get Kyle Williams from the Patriots. That's a little bit closer. Okay, we can work with this. We can work with this. They need a center. I don't have one to give you. What else can I give them? Jalen Redmond is on the last year of his contract. He's on a re-sign, so we might as well toss him in the deal. That gets it a little bit closer. And you know what? I might just have to toss a draft pick at the Patriots. For Kyle Williams seems a little bit weird, but I'll give you a third round pick and you'll accept it, right? They won't accept it? Really? Arnold, am I gonna have to send you in to rough him up a little bit? Yeah? Okay, I will. It's an option. I'll keep it in the back of my mind. Oh, that's so close. That's so very close. Just accept the seventh round pick, please. Okay, so Kyle Williams comes to the Vikings. Oh, I probably should trade Blake Cashman, shouldn't I? I don't think I can get much for him, but I might as well trade him. Yeah, if we're gonna start Ivan Pace, there's nobody that I can get. That seems a little wrong, but can I get a young D tackle? Who's kind of a young D tackle I can offer or I can go after? Oh wow, Mason Graham's developing like crazy. He didn't develop like that in year one of Brown's franchise. I wish that would have happened. That would have been sick. Brian Bressee's on the Chargers. He always gets released from the Saints for some reason. I don't know why. What kind of D tackle can I grab? I don't need anybody too crazy, just somebody that possibly, preferably on a rookie contract, maybe like a Tyleek Williams. No, I didn't think that was gonna happen. Just had to throw it out there. Like I always say, you gotta just test the waters. Because if it goes through, you're laughing like crazy. But what about Ty Hamilton? No? Okay. What about Byron Murphy, maybe? Tavondre Sweat's probably a little bit too expensive. Byron Murphy probably doesn't work, but I'll test it anyway. Oh. Okay. Well, what about Derek Harmon from the Steelers? No. Okay. I just want to throw it out because he was also young and pretty good overall. But Byron Murphy we can get, absolutely. That's actually a pretty locked down deal. So why don't we just toss a fourth round pick in 2028 at the Seahawks? They say no. So we toss a fifth round pick from 2027 out there. They say no, but it's getting closer. We toss a sixth and a six, and they say no. We toss a five, and they say yes. A lot of draft capital, but we are able to grab ourselves another D tackle, and I'm probably not going to offer anybody here. Eric Wilson, is he really even worth it? I'd probably be able to draft a linebacker that's better than that. So let's move on. Go to free agency with what little money we have, which I mean, 14 million is not little money, but we might be able to bring somebody. And Jaquan Brisker is the highest overall player here. Not really often you see him in these, but he makes it. What about Mike linebackers? N'Kobe Dean, Juwan Bentley, Chris Burns, or Barnes, excuse me. Not really seeing anybody that I like. We could try to bring back Eric Kendricks to Minnesota. Little reunion deal. You know what? I'll do that. We'll bring Eric Kendricks back. Little reunion contract. We're probably going to draft his replacement anyway. But just to have depth at the position. And then Alex Anzalone, maybe, could be fun. Roger McCreary definitely could be fun, but we'd have to outbid a lot of guys. Christian Fulton I like a lot, and he likes to be here. Okay, I'll offer Christian Fulton. He's higher overall than Jeff Okudah, which helps. So how about that deal? That's probably all the money that we have, so I'm okay with those two offers. Maybe offering a little bit too much for Eric Kendricks, and maybe he's a little unnecessary. But we do get Christian Fulton, which is pretty sick. What about Kendricks? We do get Eric Kendricks. So the reunion in Minnesota happens. We bring back Eric Kendricks. Did I just see Rachaad White go to the Commanders? Which is kind of crazy. I'm hoping that after season 2, Jalen Milroe will be a star dev player because he'll have another season in the Cincinnati playbook. So I'm hoping that'll work for him. I was kind of hoping he'd go up right now, but he doesn't. So Jordan Mason has surpassed Aaron Jones, but like I said, Bengal playbook doesn't really matter that much. Offensive line's good enough. Weapons are good enough. Defense is getting a little bit better. We do need to get a new safety in the free agency period. We need to get... You know what? Let me just change right away to the 4-3, just so I know what I'm running here. Let's go to the 4-3. And it fits us a little bit better anyway, so Let's go to the 4-3. Beautiful. Although we have Ivan Pace playing two different positions, so let's make Dallas Turner. What does he play? He plays right edge. You know what, Dallas? You're going to now be a... You're going to be a will linebacker. Why not? Oops, that's the wrong way. You're going to be a will linebacker, and you're going to be okay with that, aren't you? Oh, wait, don't we need a... We need a Sam linebacker, don't we? What about generate best lineup here? So Dallas Turner plays Sam. Okay, that's perfect. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter which way he plays, just as long as he's playing linebacker. So now we have Van Ginkel and Grenard, although we probably... Shouldn't I move Van Ginkel? He's not really an edge rusher, is he? I mean, he's a little bit, I guess. We need to work on linebacker. We need to work on safety. And we need to work on getting an extra edge rusher for Andrew Van Ginkel. So that's what our private workouts need to be. So I did scout a couple of guys. We scouted the defensive tackle, Riley Havenstein. He ends up being round 1. But I need to go to linebacker. Preferably the Mike position or the Will position. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Is there anybody that could be good? What kind of speed are we working with here? Any elite speed linebackers? No elite speed linebackers this year. What about will linebackers? Ooh, a couple elite speed, elite acceleration. Now I'm talking. And elite change of direction for this dude, Walt Hoffman. He's undrafted. What does his stats look like? Where's he at? Here he is. Ooh, he doesn't look that good. He looks like he's just athletic. I will scout him just to find out because I'm very curious about him. But he looks like he's just an athlete, which, I mean, at the end of the day, not that bad. What else are we working with here? These guys have pretty good coverage skills. I'm kind of curious about Jason Beckham. Bend it like Beckham. And then we could use an extra corner. There's 2 round 1 corners. What kind of speed are we working with here? There's 2 elite speed corners. There's also one that's elite acceleration. Tell me more. And elite jumping. Jared Rudolph might be my guy. Okay. I want to know more about him. So let's find out how good those guys actually are. All right. Whoops, wrong thing. All right, let's go to corner. He's a round 1 talent. You know what? That works for me. He's not going to be a starter, or he's not going to be like a number 1 corner, but that works for me. I'm totally fine with that. And what about the linebackers? He is actually potentially undrafted. Very interesting. I thought for sure his athleticism would boost him up higher because he has the speed, right? He's the one that had the speed, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he has the elite acceleration, the elite speed. I might still draft him just simply off of that alone, but I thought he'd be a little bit higher because of that. I guess not. And then Jason Beckham is also only a good athlete. All right, we'll figure out where we go. What do we even have? What's our pick even at? We are picking... Is there anybody that I want at the top of this draft? I don't think so. We don't need a quarterback. We're picking at 13. They have us taking Jared Rudolph, who is what I want. So I guess I'm okay with that at 13. That's who we'll take. So let's start the draft. Let's start the draft and figure out who's going to be on this board. So sim to our next user pick and go make our selection. We've got 2 quarterback potentially on the option board, but we've also got Carlos Johnson. Is the corner still here? Okay, the corner is still here. Do I risk having the corner go in the first round, just not by us? And do I take this edge rusher? Because we also need an edge rusher to replace Andrew Van Ginkel. Carlos Johnson, he doesn't look as good as I wanted him to look. So it might still be Jared Rudolph. 6'4", oh my God. And he ran a 4.4. Okay. I can't pass up on Jared Rudolph. He's got great skills. He's number 6 in the class. Hidden dev, 95 speed at 6'4" is kind of insane. Yeah, that was the pick. That was definitely the pick. I'm happy we took him. Now we go to the second round. Who's available? There is still a quarterback available. Like I said, we don't need one. So we have a corner now. We need to look at linebacker. We still have Jason Beckham available. I might go and get him. But there's also a couple of good Mike linebackers available. Don't forget about safety, Juice. What are you doing? Thank you, Arnold, for telling me. Don't forget about safety. Dane Youngblood is kind of an insane name. Joey McKinney, 6 foot. Doesn't look that good, but he's got good hit power. He could be a good player. Dane Youngblood doesn't look much better. Is there a strong safety we could turn into a free safety? There's a couple hybrid players. Jake McLeod. Okay, Jake McLeod might be an interesting option. Maybe that's what we go with. I think I can get away with one of the safeties, free safety or strong safety, in the third round. I think I'm going to take Jason Beckham in the second round here. He just looks like a pretty solid athlete. He's number 105, so we really reached on him. You know what? I probably shouldn't have taken him. Okay, but now I know. I've learned my lesson. Don't take him. If he ever pops up again in another draft, don't take him. Who's available now? So we go back to the will linebacker spot. We still have Hoffman available. We might still grab him at the end of the day. Joey McKinney is available, but none of the strong safeties are available. So we might as well grab Joey McKinney. He's got good hit power. We need his free safety anyway. Let's grab him. He's number 175 in true value. Hidden Dev, though. He's going to be a super low overall, but at least Hidden Dev will help him out a little bit. And then in the fourth round, I think we take that undrafted linebacker and then we sim out of the draft because the next pick is in the seventh. So let's grab the freak athlete linebacker, Walt Hoffman. He's number 310, but he's got 86 speed, 91 excel. At linebacker, that's kind of crazy, so I'm happy with that. We didn't hit on all of the picks, obviously, but we did enough to make this team on defense pretty good. 79 overall for Jared Rudolph. That definitely was the money shot right there. He's a beast. He's a beast. He's one of the best corners I've taken in Madden 26. Jason Beckham was a little bit of a whiff. I will admit that. Joey McKinney's going to be a freak with that hidden dev. Walt Hoffman doesn't have a dev trait, but he could be good. And then they took Eddie O'Neill, who looks to be whatever. Best players in the class were, wow, Ethan Blanton, number 3 overall, was an 85 wide receiver. I don't know if I've ever seen an 85 overall. Of course, he's from Ohio State, as you usually are if you're a good wide receiver. An Iowa tight end also in this class. So it seems like Ohio State wide receiver archetype are always going to be good. Iowa tight ends are always going to be good. I think that's kind of like it's kind of like the USC strong safety type of thing. But 85, 98 speed. If I would have drafted this dude in Browns franchise, I would have been over the moon. How big is he? He's 6'3", 228. Pretty sick. Pretty freaking sick. Yeah, I would have been over the moon if I would have drafted him in Browns franchise, but he wasn't in our class, unfortunately. I think we got a couple good receivers in Miguel Perez and Eddie Velasco, but let's take a look at this lineup now because we're going into year 2 of Jalen Milroe in the Bengal playbook. He is an 82 overall. He should go up to probably a high 80, maybe even a low 90. He'll probably be in the 90s, depending on the morale boost. But actual true overall, probably be high 80s after the season. And the defense got a little bit better. We do just need to outright start. Not Theo Jackson. Let's cut Theo Jackson. Sorry, dog. We just need to start McKinney at free safety. I need to go sign a free safety that's a lower overall than McKinney, which I think he's a 67, so it shouldn't be that hard to find somebody that low. So let's go to this. There's a lot of rookies out here. Who's the highest speed? Okay, there's a couple of... Oh, look at that. Brendan Schooler, special teams legend. We got this guy, Gabe Redding from Ohio. Let's take him. He's got good speed, and he's a lower overall than McKinney, so we'll grab him. And we will move on to season number 2 of the Vikings rebuild. I'm going to be in the Bengal playbook for one more season so that we can build up Jalen Milroe's overall. And then next season, season number 3, we'll finally start actually trying to win games. So let's simulate season number 3, see how good Jalen Milroe develops. And maybe this time, with the defense being a little bit better, we can even make the playoffs. We finished year number 2, and maybe I was wrong. Maybe we don't need to go to a new playbook. What do you think about that, Arnold? Do you think we need to go to a new playbook next year? Yeah? You think you still do? Yeah, I probably agree with you. Yeah, we probably do need to still go to a new playbook. The Bengal playbook got us 11 wins, and it also got us Jalen Milroe, 5,200 yards, 44 touchdowns, which is kind of insane. What's his overall at this point? His overall is, wow, he is developing like crazy. He's only 23. He's already an 87 overall. I told you it'd probably be high 80s after the season was over. I was not wrong. Very, very sick. How's our rookie corner doing? Oh my God, he's an 85. McKinney's a 75. Yeah, we drafted pretty well, didn't we? We drafted pretty darn well. We got some studs, some absolute studs. Let's take a look at the full stats, though. So Jalen Milroe, oh my God, this might be MVP. 5,200 yards, 44 touchdowns, 8 interceptions is a unbelievable season. And that might be enough touchdowns to less interceptions where the game gives me the MVP. Jordan Mason didn't do much. He got 14 touchdowns, which is pretty cool. Three 1,000 yard receivers because Ty Felton got 1,400 yards and 18 touchdowns. Why? He had to have been in the slot. There's no other reason. Whatever. Sick. Good for him. Ivan Pace kills it again. Eric Kendricks puts up godly numbers. Josh Metellus puts up great numbers. I keep wanting to say Metellus. Jonathan Allen has 17 tackles for loss. That's pretty good. 13 and a half sacks for Van Ginkel. He's still got it. Jonathan Allen, 13, 11 and a half for Grenard. And then interceptions, not many. Jared Rudolph did get one as a rookie. Good for him. But I think we did pretty well. And now we take on the Philadelphia Eagles. I highly expect us to lose this game and move to the offseason. But you never know. Maybe we could upset the Eagles. We could not. We only put up 9 points. I think we will still move out of the Bengal playbook to a new one. Because the Bengal playbook is good for getting quarterback individual stats, getting quarterback receiver stats, and developing those guys, but it's not really that good for winning games as a team. So we're going to go to a playbook that actually does do that, which is either Buffalo, Detroit, as you can see, Philadelphia, whatever one we want to go to. I'm not really sure. And Jalen Milroe is now a true 88 overall player at this point, after just 2 seasons in the Bengal playbook. So yeah, if like I said, if you want to develop a quarterback in your rebuilds that you're doing, just put him in the Bengal playbook for a season or two, and you'll get him up very crazy. I mean, you remember, we traded for him. He was a 65 overall. 65. And now he's an 88. So it works. It's a proven method. It works. And he's up to superstar dev because I think he won the MVP. He had to have. He had to have won the MVP. And Ty Felton's a superstar dev receiver as well. So we didn't have to trade for Kyle Williams because we got Ty Felton. I didn't know he was going to go crazy. We also have X Factor for Josh Metellus. Okay. Sick. We have X Factor for Jonathan Allen. He was superstar, I'm pretty sure. Let me just generate best lineup here and see what happens. We should probably put Ivan Pace as middle linebacker, as he's a will linebacker. So let's change him to a Mike linebacker, and he should start there. What else do we need to work on, though, is the big question. Because we have our safety now. We have some good corners with the addition of our rookie, Rudolph, and then Isaiah Rodgers is a good player, and then we signed Christian Fulton. So maybe we need to get another linebacker because it looks like Eric Kendricks has retired. So Dallas Turner can't play both Will and Sam linebacker, so we're going to have to work that out. We probably should also get an edge rusher just in case Van Ginkel can't go. But I'm assuming Milroe won the MVP. He didn't. He just went up naturally from normal to superstar dev. He passed star dev. Patrick Mahomes is the MVP of the league. As Jackson Mahomes. I just said Jackson Mahomes, Arnold. Why? What? Jackson Mahomes? No. I think I mixed up Patrick Mahomes and Jacksonville Jaguars, I think is what in my brain, I mixed up. Jacksonville wins the Super Bowl and Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. What did Mahomes do that was so good? He had 2 less interceptions. They had the exact same completion percentage. They had the exact same touchdowns. Milroe had way more yards, but because he had 2 less interceptions, you're going to give the award to Mahomes? Are we serious right now? You're telling me that Jalen Milroe didn't win the MVP because he had 2 more interceptions than the god of all quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes. All right, I see how it is. This is all rigged, Arnold. I can tell. It's all rigged. It's Patrick Mahomes glazing. Unbelievable. That's actually so stupid that they gave it to him because he had 2 less interceptions. Who cares if he had 2 less interceptions? What does that matter? That has no bearing on how good a player's season is. All right. We can accept the option on Dallas Turner. We are going to have to restructure some more contracts to get Brian O'Neill back. Absolutely. But we're going to have to make some tough decisions because we've got Aaron Jones, who I think we can let go, and I don't think we can trade him because I don't think he's going to have any value. Isaiah Rodgers, we can probably let go. I hate to say it, but we could probably let him go. Brian O'Neill, we need to get back. I might even have to franchise tag him. We do need to bring a running back to the team. We could just draft one, I guess, but that's a little risky. But let's restructure some contracts just to free up enough space to be able to make this all work. So let's restructure that because we do have to bring back Brian O'Neill. That's pretty much priority number one. So let's get all of these guys back. We'll restructure those contracts. That gives us 41 million. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get O'Neill back. I hope it is. It is good enough. Okay, perfect. Because I don't really want to have to work on a new right tackle before we rebuild this team. So let's offer him a new contract. And he's going to accept that. Perfect. So that gets us to $13 million. We probably have to spend that on Jordan Mason and not Andrew Van Ginkel. We are looking to trade replace Van Ginkel anyway. What can I get for him? Does he have any value? TJ Edwards, Trey Harris, Hollywood Brown, Chad Muma. Ooh. Keaton Mitchell. Or Carter Johnson, who would probably be on a rookie contract, wouldn't he? Or one of the running backs, or one of the corners, Riley Moss or Quincy Riley. What is Quincy Riley's contract? He's got 2 years, so he's probably on a rookie. He's still on his rookie deal, obviously. I think I might accept this deal and get Quincy Riley on the team because we're going to lose Isaiah Rodgers. So replacing Isaiah Rodgers with Quincy Riley, I'm fine with. And then using the rest of this money to sign Jordan Mason back, I think is a smart thing to do. So let's use this money, sign Jordan Mason. He's back. And that is probably everything we need to sign. Because, Ryan Kelly, I didn't even see him. Oh, okay, good thing I noticed that. Because Ryan Kelly, I'm going to have to free up more money. Darn it. I was hoping that was everybody because I don't really want to have to re-sign it or free up any more money, but I'm going to have to if I want Ryan Kelly back. So we need to figure out who we can restructure. Ivan Pace, we can restructure, but it's not going to really matter that much. Byron Murphy, we can restructure, but these deals aren't doing much. They're not expensive enough. I need to restructure Brian O'Neill, but we just signed him, so I'm not going to do that. That'd be a little bit too much cheese. Is 9.9 million going to be enough? I might have to franchise tag Ryan Kelly. Yeah, I'm going to have to franchise tag him. That sucks. That really sucks, because he's not that expensive either. But we just don't have the money. We're paying too many people too much money. And it really isn't even my doing. It's just the Vikings are expensive in real life. They're very expensive. So I'm hoping that year 3 we can win the title because I did notice that we are kind of in trouble with a lot of guys on the last year of their deal this next year. So we're in a little bit of trouble. Who's in free agency? I might as well just take a peek. Jamel Dean. You know what? That's not a very good free agent class. I kind of would have been a little disappointed. I might as well just save the rest of our money, move into the draft. We should probably draft a running back, just in case. We should also draft an edge rusher. Edge rusher probably needs to be priority number 1 to replace Van Ginkel. We do have, didn't mean to hit the mic there. We do have Dallas Turner who can be the edge rusher, so maybe we don't need an edge rusher. Maybe we need a will linebacker or something. There is a top 5 quarterback in this class. If I needed a quarterback, I would totally draft Trey Mason, which is kind of weird because the last time Trey Mason got drafted, he was not that good of a running back. He was fine. But we probably need to draft a linebacker if we're going to move Dallas Turner to edge rusher. But we've got a couple of guys, Carlos Jordan and Jeremiah O'Leary, both round 1 to 2. All right. Tickle me intrigued. I'll scout Tremaine Scott. There's a bunch of defensive tackles. There's a round 1 edge rusher in Tucker McLean. Okay, what are we doing here? Are there actually some studs in this? They look like there's going to be some beast of D tackles, but we're not going to be in the position to draft any of them unless we take this guy down the board here. Andrew Sherwood. I'll scout him just in case. We could use another linebacker or another D tackle. It's not the most important position, but another one wouldn't hurt. and I'll scout Shelton Stamper because I like his name. Okay, let's move. Let's move to the draft. We need edge rusher or linebacker. We need possible running back. How good are these players? What does Trey Mason even look like here? Ooh. You know what? Uh he looks a lot like our guy Julian Enriquez from Browns franchise. He's not the exact same type of guy. He's a little bit better statistically than Enriquez was, but he looks a lot like him. His attributes and his skill set looks a lot like Enriquez. So Mike linebacker Stamper ends up being round 1 to 2. We might have to snag that real quick. All three of these round 2 to 3 linebackers are 1 to 2. That's good to know. And then Sherwood's a 3 to 4. Okay, I don't really know where I'm going to go with this. I think I need to take a look at the mock draft. What's the mock draft have us taken? So Trey Mason's going to go number 2 overall to the Browns. That's funny. Tucker McLean is going to go number 5 to the Steelers. Yeah, we're kind of out on that. I think we're going to be fine taking anybody that we can take. There's another probably pretty good corner. There's a lot of corners going. So we are at, where are we even at? Do we not have a first round pick this year? Oh, no, we do. They have us taking a left tackle. I don't think we need a left tackle. We have Christian Darrisaw. We have Brian O'Neill. Both tackle positions are pretty much done. So I think we need to take one of the linebackers. It's probably going to be Tremaine Scott, but I kind of like the look of Carlos Jordan a little bit better. Is he a little bit more athletic? He's got elite speed. That already tips him in the favor of getting drafted. Only great speed. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Carlos Jordan. If I have the opportunity, I'll take Jeremiah O'Leary as well, but I could also grab Shelton Stamper. So I think we're going to be fine at linebacker. And we can just move Dallas Turner to edge rusher, and that edge rusher position is already filled out because we have Jonathan Grenard as well. So we're pretty much good to go. Let's simulate to our pick and see what is on the table for us. I thought that said Andrew Luck, but it was Andy Luck. All right, so a lot of the quarterbacks are still on the board. That's totally fine. We don't need one. So Sam linebacker, all 3 are available, and so is Shelton Stamper. Perfect. I probably should have scouted Seontae Gates. Wasn't he projected to go to the Patriots? I don't know. But I like Carlos Jordan a little bit better, so I'm going to take him here at 22 or whatever it is. He's number 32. He's got hidden dev. Perfect. That's a beautiful linebacker to have. Then we go to the second round, and we will take probably the other linebacker. Unless the O'Leary dude is available. Is he still available? There's no way he is. So Stamper's still available. No, O'Leary got taken. I kind of assumed that was going to be the case, but he does get taken. I'm going to take Shelton Stamper now, and then I'm going to risk that D tackle because we don't necessarily need a D tackle that much. He's only normal dev. We don't necessarily need a D tackle, so letting him risk the 3rd round would be okay for me. Oh, no, he got taken. I see him by the Cowboys. Andrew Sherwood got grabbed. So with our final pick, because we don't have another pick in this draft, I traded it all away. What am I going to use it on? Probably another D tackle, I guess. There was a lot of nose tackles that could be good. Who do I like the look of the most? Maybe this guy, Sean Ainge. Danny Ainge's kid. Let's grab him. He looks pretty solid. He ends up being number 37 true value with normal dev. You know what? That's good enough for me. That is good enough for me. We're going to switch playbooks. We're probably going to go... What playbook should we go with, Arnold? Should we go Bills playbook? Dallas playbook? Philly playbook? We should go Buffalo? All right, you think? I was kind of thinking Philly. Okay. All right, you're in charge. I mean, you do have me captive right now, so I guess we go Buffalo playbook. It's been said. He's going to Buffalo. We're going to Buffalo playbook. 75 overall for Carlos Jordan, 74 for Stamper, hardly know her, and 75 for Ainge. I think those 3 picks, we only have 3 picks. I think all 3 of them are home run picks. Trey Mason ends up being an 83 overall. I knew he was probably going to be pretty good. He just had that kind of look to him. He's also not very fast. See, this skill set looks a lot like Julian Enriquez, although Julian Enriquez was not an 83 overall. He was, what, a 79 or 78 or something like that? So, he looks a lot like him. And he also went to the Browns. How funny. How funny. All right, season number 3 is about to be underway. Let me go change the playbook so I don't forget. So we got to make sure we're in the right offensive scheme, which I think it's going to be just spread offense, probably. Maybe vertical zone run. No, just keep it in the spread. 4-3 is probably going to be what we need to stay in. Yeah, we'll stay in the 4-3, and we will switch to Buffalo's offense. We'll stay in Minnesota defense. And now that we've done that, we probably are going to win a lot of games and probably win the Super Bowl. Who knows? Well, I guess we'll find out. What do you think, Arnold? You think we're going to win the Super Bowl this year, or are we going to go another year? He's in on Super Bowl this year. I don't know if I believe him, but I mean, he is my captive right now. He's my captor. So I got to trust him. Season 3's in the books, and I think Arnold might have been right. I mean, I should have listened to him. He is from another world. He predicted a Super Bowl this year, and we are on the right path. Number 1 seed in the NFC, 13 wins. It seems like the Bills playbook, baby. I hate that you have to change playbooks just to be good in team simulation, but that's just the way that it is. 4,700 yards, 36 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. A wonderful season from Jalen Milroe, even after he was robbed of his MVP last year. Rushing numbers, Jordan Mason puts up great numbers as you would expect in the Buffalo playbook. He's in the James Cook role. 3 1,000-yard receivers. Ty Felton continues to prove it wasn't a fluke. I think the most fun part about this rebuild so far is the unexpected and surprising development of Ty Felton. I didn't have him pegged as a guy that was going to develop, and he has taken off. He has skyrocketed to one of the best wide receivers in the league, alongside Addison and Justin Jefferson, which I think is pretty cool. Defensively, only 2 100 tackle seasons this year, but Josh Metellus was right there. Jared Rudolph, the second-year player, was right there. No interceptions for him this year, kind of shocking. Tackle velocity was Jonathan Allen. Sack leader was Jonathan Grenard with 9.5. And then Chaz Chambliss with 7.5 sacks. Okay, Chaz. Anybody named Chaz, you probably should stay away from. But this guy does play football at a fairly high level. 7.5 sacks, pretty good. And then Byron Murphy puts up 5 interceptions. I'll take it. I will take it because it got us to be the number 1 overall seed in the NFC, and it might get us a win in the divisional round, please. Come on. Pretty please. 24-16 W, and look who we take on. The Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship. How poetic. The Philadelphia Eagles, but they have to come to US Bank Stadium. They're not ready for it. It's going to be wintertime outside. Now, I know we play in a dome, but they got to travel there. It's not like they just travel from dome to dome without having to experience the outdoor weather. They're going to be cold. They're not going to be ready for it. And maybe I'll slip the maintenance team a fiver, a fresh little crispy 5 to turn down the air conditioning and make it real hot in there and get them all steamy, sweaty. So they're not ready to get them all cramped up. That might be what you like that idea, Arnold? Yeah, you like that? Okay, let's do that. You got the money? Because I'm kind of broke. You got the money? Yeah, you cover? Okay, perfect. Sick. Let's go to the NFC Championship and see if we can make a trip to the Super Bowl. The Minnesota Vikings fans are fiending for a Super Bowl. It is the NFC Championship here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, hoping that we can go to the Super Bowl and get the Vikings their championship. They've waited so long. They've long-suffering Vikings fans, heartbreak galore, trying to end that pain today. And it's looking like we can. 16-0. We're shutting out the Eagles. Okay, they get a touchdown and a 2-point. A little bit concerning, but we did it. 16-8, just like that. Arnold, you were right. You were right. We're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, you are an all-knowing otherworldly being, so I shouldn't be shocked, but you were right. Jalen Milroe and the Minnesota Vikings are headed to the Super Bowl. Wow, Jalen Hurts, 78 yards, no touchdowns. I mean, not a top 5 quarterback. Let's just say that. Justin Jefferson gets an upgrade point. That's pretty sick. He's already pretty much a 99 everywhere, I think. But hey, we moved to the Super Bowl, and we have a chance for the first time in history to win one. Can we do it? It'd be sick if we could. We take on the Colts, which I don't think they have, Daniel Jones anymore. I would assume it's probably Anthony Richardson, or maybe they drafted somebody. I have no idea, but they're here. They're not that good, We should be able to beat them. What do you think the score is going to be? Arnold, what do you think? 35-7? No, you're out of your mind if you think it's going to be 35-7. What are we talking about here? I'm probably thinking a little bit more conservative. Maybe like 28-21, 28-24. That's probably where I'm thinking. But obviously us on top, right? Yeah, of course. Yeah, us on top, obviously. Yeah. 35-7? Really? All right. 35-7's Arnold's prediction. Let's go see if that's actually the case. It's time for the Super Bowl, and it's time for Jalen Milroe's moment. This is his time to shine, the time to prove that he is a franchise quarterback in this league. And by cementing himself with a Super Bowl, he can do that. It's 7-7, second half action. Colts get a touchdown to make it 14-7, but we also tie, and we have a chance. Okay, fourth quarter, 5 minutes to go. We're at the 17-yard line. We have a chance to do this. And I thought in honor of the older Vikings fans out there, we might as well go old school unis. The Randy Moss era unis. The Dante Culpepper unis. Just to kind of give these Vikings fans a little bit of a hope. Even though we already have all the hope we need, is Justin Jefferson's going to walk in for an easy touchdown to take the lead here in the Super Bowl. I mean, that's as easy as it gets right there. And now all we have to do is hold on for the victory, and I think we are going to do it. You were right, Arnold. I mean, you weren't right on the scoreline. It was probably closer to what I was predicting. But still, we are the champions. The Minnesota Vikings are your Super Bowl champions in just 3 seasons of a rebuild. The Minneapolis Miracle is now a reality. We've done it. Champions for the first time ever. And it's that guy right there, Jalen Milroe. If you would have thought at the beginning of this video that Jalen Milroe was going to be the Super Bowl winning quarterback, you probably would have had to like pinch yourself because you wouldn't have been thinking the right thing. But I don't think we win the championship in 3 seasons if we don't have Jalen Milroe. He was the guy. He was the right place, right time kind of guy. We suffered through 2 seasons of development to get him that overall that we needed. He was robbed of an MVP in this rebuild as well. Clearly robbed of an MVP because of the Patrick Mahomes glaze. And it was, in fact, not Anthony Richardson. It was a guy named Brent Tyler, who sounds like an 80s rock star. But we get the championship we needed to get. We've officially rebuilt the Minnesota Vikings. We've officially stopped the bleeding and saved these fans heartbreak. Just think of an actual Super Bowl in Minneapolis. That place would go crazy. That place would go crazy if there was an actual Super Bowl. But we've done it. We have won a Super Bowl. We've completed the rebuild. We have absolutely done what we needed to do. And Jalen Milroe is your Super Bowl MVP, cementing himself in the lore of football and Minnesota football, NFL football and Minnesota football. So if we go to the lineup, take a look at this team one final time. Jalen Milroe is now a 96 overall while he's playing up to it. He's a 92 X Factor. He's only 25. This goes to show that if you want a quarterback in your sims, if you're doing just a sim, now obviously this would take a lot longer if you were playing every single game like I do in Browns franchise. But if you want a quarterback, I mean, really any quarterback will work. That's young. If you put him in Bengals playbook, they'll develop. But Jalen Milroe, we found out, will develop like crazy if you put him in Bengal playbook. He's got the arm power already. He's got the throw power. He's got the speed and athleticism already. Just put him in Bengal playbook for 2 seasons, 2 or 3 seasons, he'll skyrocket. And just look at that. X Factor, 25 years old, already a Super Bowl MVP. Should have been a regular season MVP as well, but we can't do much about that. And the surprise of the video is Ty Felton. Who would have thunk it? He develops into a great wide receiver, one of the best in the league. I would have never guessed that, but he did. Congratulations to him. Ryan Kelly and Brian O'Neill both retire, so I guess it's a good thing we're ending the video here because that would have been rough to rebuild that. But the defense, we drafted really well. We got lucky that Grenard played well. We got a really good corner in Rudolph. This dude's a freak. 6'4", 208 pounds with 95 speed and unbelievable zone coverage and man coverage. I mean, come on, this guy's out of control. He's a freak athlete. He's a great player. He's going to be a #1 corner in this league. And then we also drafted a pretty good corner in McKinney, or a pretty good safety in McKinney's not that great though. A lot of retirements. This Vikings team was on the last legs, but they got it done. We got it done with him. Grenard turned into a great player, which I wasn't really shocked about. I kind of figured that Grenard was going to be a great player, but I'm happy with this rebuild, man, and I hope you guys are too. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more. Join the Juice Club. Thank you so much. Stop by and watch. I truly appreciate it. And now I'm going to go try to get free from my captor Arnold as he tries to take me back and probe me. So wish me luck. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.